My name's Kirsten, and this is my husband Tay, and we are the Olsons. This is our story. In the summer of 2020, we found out that we were expecting our third child, and we were so excited, and like any family would be, to add a new family member into the mix. But that excitement soon turned to a lot of fear and anxiety and unknown early on in the pregnancy. We went to our 13-week ultrasound, and the scans and the measurements that they were looking for, something was off in the baby's numbers.
So I remember we were in that room, the ultrasound room. They're always dark, a little intimidating, and it was taking a little while. We didn't know what was wrong, and then finally the nurse came in and said, "Guys, can you come with us to this back room, which is standard, where they give you the results?" And I remember they sat us in these chairs. We waited a few more minutes, and 4 doctors came in and just sat right in front of us.
And we knew at that moment that something was wrong.
They told us what they thought it might be.
They said it was something called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And they explained that this condition happens because at some point early on in the pregnancy, the baby's heart, left side of his heart, stopped developing. And so essentially the baby was going to be born with only half of a heart. And when this happens, there's not a whole ton they can do. They gave us 3 options that if this was the case, we could either choose to terminate the pregnancy, we could choose comfort care, which would be letting the baby pass peacefully on their own, or they came up with 3 surgeries, palliative surgeries, that would give these little ones a chance to fight for life. Mm-hmm. And in our minds, we knew that if this was the case, it wouldn't even be a choice. We'd be fighting for a baby's life.
We knew that we were going to fight for his life with everything in us. And we knew we had to let everyone know his name so that they could pray for our son by name. And I remember we put it out there on social media, and we named him Oakland. We named him Oakland because we want him to be strong like an oak tree, deep roots, planted, strong, beautiful, just an incredible work of God. And so it always reminds me the power that's in our story and how it can increase and inspire faith for others.
So thankfully the delivery went relatively smooth, and we were just blessed because they told us that after baby was born, we likely wouldn't have any time to hold him. If we did, we'd be blessed with maybe a minute. But thankfully, Oaks was just doing so well, and we were blessed with 20 beautiful minutes. So that is a gift I'll always cherish.
We were so thankful that our son had survived and that we were continuing to fight, and he was continuing to fight. And there was a moment a couple days after that where they didn't think he was actually really going to pull through or make it. And I remember texting the church staff group text saying, "We need prayer right now." It was a Sunday morning. I just sent like a Hail Mary, basically like, "Hey, can you guys pray? I know there's like a Sunday service going on. I know you're about to preach. I know there's lots going on, but please pray for Oakland. Things aren't looking good." And I remember we turned on the service, and Pastor and Natasha they went off the script. They just went so spirit-led and got the whole room to pray for Oakland with us. And it built our faith. But it was so scary. But we were just so thankful that we're part of a church community that was believing with us for big things.
We got to bring him home, and there was a lot of days that it was very scary, like especially those first few weeks. He had some arrhythmia issues that he was struggling with in the hospital, And that was very scary because we had to look for those signs on our own now, and we didn't have a team of people watching over us, and we had to know.
And that means his half heart would go up to 200 plus, sometimes 250 plus beats per minute. So imagine this half heart working 3-4 times as hard. And I remember we were in legacy season, and you know, we always pray and believe for things with legacy, but this made it very, very tangible because there was something closely connected to us that would be the biggest miracle we could ever see. I remember writing down on the legacy cards, just like we do most years, Oakland, Taylor Gray, Olson, and that's all I wrote on there. These cards, dozens of people wrote Oakland's name on it, believing with us for a full life and a full heart. We got messages from dream teamers, from kids in the kids ministry, students in the youth ministry, young adults, elderly people from all over believing for this miracle, for the miracle of Oakland, Taylor Gray Olson. And it was so beautiful to see hundreds of people rally with us and believe with us for our son.
Gave us so much hope as we had so much unknown ahead of us, and still do. But yeah, it just gave us so much encouragement that, okay, we can do this. Like, we have a team of people behind us. We have a family behind us. God with us, you know, we can do this.
And that's exactly what legacy is. It's to help inspire the faith that is in people, but help them develop that faith even further. Help them uncover it, dig it up, because it's in there. And I love that when we pray and believe for things in community or corporately, that it gives you a sense of ownership, and God just moves incredibly. And to see a gathering of people ignited in faith because of something like this was so incredible to be a part of.
We're just so grateful to see God's faithfulness through all of this, and just how He's gotten us through this season, you know, and now our son is doing amazing, he's thriving, and we are just living life as normally as possible as we can, and it's just all because of God and all of His amazing work that He's done, and we're so grateful.
And I think what we've learned about legacy, especially through this, is not shying away, not being timid, not being scared to ask for impossible things, because God can do what only He can do, and that is the impossible. That's why He's God.